Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Todd. This is Todd. For today's video, I have decided to do some homemade French toast. And for this, you are going to need about 8 slices of bread. I have 5 thick cut slices here of some of my homemade white bread. So I'm not going to use 8 slices, plus it's only going to be me. So 8 would be a little too much. You're also going to need 158 milliliters of whole milk and 79 milliliters of heavy cream. That's 2/3 of a cup of milk and 1/3 cup of heavy cream. And this is to make homemade half and half. And I used whole milk, so that's why I did not use equal amounts of cream and milk. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of honey. You're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is just sea salt. And you're going to need 2 large eggs. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and just make a little room here. I'm going to go ahead and dump my cream and milk into the bowl, along with my 2 eggs. Also going to go ahead and just eye in about 2 tablespoons of honey. You can use more or less. I actually kind of like a little extra honey, just my preference. But this, and I'm going to go ahead and add in my salt. And I'm going to grab a whisk, and I'm going to mix all of this together. And you're going to want to beat this until it's well incorporated. Okay, so that's done. And what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a bowl right here. Alrighty. And I am going to go ahead and grab a mesh strainer, since my honey is starting to crystallize. I'm going to go ahead and just strain it through a fine mesh strainer. And as you can see, there's still some bits of honey in there. And this also has an advantage of taking the egg that did not beat up and removing that from the custard mix. And I'm going to go ahead and just let this sit in the refrigerator overnight. And also, you're going to want to go ahead and have your bread going stale overnight too, so you can go ahead and cut that up. Just sit it on a wire rack on your counter and just let it air out overnight to get stale. And I actually used my dehydrator for about half an hour to accomplish it a little bit faster. And you also can use your oven to do the same thing. Just put that on the lowest temperature it can go on. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring you back tomorrow when I am getting ready to do my French toast. Okay, so it's like almost 4 o'clock on the next day. And I decided not to have breakfast or lunch like I typically do. And I am going to go ahead and just take one of the slices of bread, and I'm going to sit it in the custard for about 30 seconds on each side. And since this is kind of on thicker bread, I'm actually going to try and coat some of the sides too. I'm going to go ahead and flip this, and I'm going to push it down into the mixture here. Like that. And I'm going to grab one of my small spoons right here. And I fried about 8 strips of bacon. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the oil and put it in the pan to fry. probably be a little faster if I would just put the, or just dump the bowl, but I'm going to go ahead and just soak this a little longer. It still hasn't soaked up enough. Alright, so right about here is fine for me. And you're going to want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to go ahead and start soaking another one. And I'm just going to push it below this time. And as you can see, the bubbles coming up, it's soaking up some of the egg mixture here. Or custard, whatever you want to call it. It technically would be a custard. And you're going to want to fry these on a pretty much a low. And you're going to want to fry them for about a minute or two per side. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one over too. And I'm just going to throw that right in the pan. And I'm going to add a couple more of these spoonfuls of bacon grease in here, just around this one. And I'm going to go ahead and soak another one. And once these are done frying for the 2 minutes on each side, well, really a minute or two, doesn't really matter, you're going to want to go ahead and flip them. And that right there is the color you're looking for, just like any other French toast. And I'm going to add a little extra oil around that one, since it's on a new side. Okay, so I thought I should go ahead and just show you a quick demonstration on why you want to let your bread get stale. So as you can clearly see, I cannot really press this bread, and I'm squeezing quite hard. But right here is one of the pieces of French toast, and as you can see, very close in thickness to this piece. And this has completely absorbed that right there. Now it may come out just a little on the hard side still, but as it sits there and fries, it's going to continue to absorb. And this is one of the reasons why you actually want to bake it for 5 minutes after they come out. And I'm getting ready to pull another one off right quick too, which got just a little on the darker side, which I don't really mind. But nonetheless, you don't really want to use fresh bread for this. Okay, so this right here is pretty much what you're looking for, is a nice golden crust, and that's the only reason you're frying these at the very beginning. And this one literally just came out, so it's really hot, and you can see that it has absorbed the custard very nicely. And at this point, since all of these are done, these are going to go in the oven for about 5 to 8 minutes. And that is going to finish the custard setting up that's inside of each individual piece of French toast. So while these are in the oven finishing up, I'm actually going to go ahead and fry some eggs to go along with this. And this is pretty much going to wrap this video right here up. So as always, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you smash that subscribe button too. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash that bell so you can be notified when I upload another video. And I also hope you continue to come along with me on this journey of mine.